ఇందాక ఇలా పెట్టినా ఓకే డన్ గురూజీ డన్ ఓకే హలో హలో హలో
गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्हाय गन्धमत्ताय गोचरप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्र श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि.
Thank you, madam. So, to symbolize the pursuit of the knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment, I now request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly light the lamp ceremony and inaugurate the faculty development program. I request HODs and deans would also join this occasion. Thank you, sir. Respected Secretary, sir, Dr. N. Prasad Raj Garu, respected Principal, sir, Dr. S. Samu Prasad, sir, dignitaries on the dais, all the deans, HODs, my IQAC team members, and dear faculty participants. A very good morning to one and all. Myself, I am Dr. S.S.P.R. Kumar Adidalla, Dean in charge IQAC and Professor of CSA. It's given me an immense pleasure to welcome you all on the inaugural session of the Internal Faculty Development Program on Teaching Pedagogies, Outcome-Based Education, and AI-Enabled Teaching and Research. So, organizing by the Internal Quality Assurance. So, at the outset, I express my sincere gratitude to our principal, Sir Dr. S. Prasad Garu, for his constant encouragement and supports towards the quality enhancement initiatives and faculty development activities in our institution. So, in today's rapidly evolving educational landscape, it is definitely essential for all the educators like us for continuous upgrade their knowledge and skills in modern and innovative teaching pedagogies, outcome-based educations, and AI-enabled learning methodologies and research advancements. So, with this objective, the IQAC has designed this particular 6-day FDP covering the modern pedagogies, outcome-based education, revised Bloom's taxonomy, COPO mapping, outcome-based assessment, and use of the AI in the teaching learning strategies, research methodology, and publication strategies. So, I am pleased to be note that around 85 faculty members from various departments are participating in this particular program. I am confident that all these sessions will be valuable insights and practical exposure that will contribute to enhance the teaching effectiveness and academic quality. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the resource persons who are agreed immediately and their expertise and values during this faculty development program. Once again, I extend my warm welcome to all the dignitaries and participants and wish the program a great success. Thank you. So now I request Dr. R. Venugopal Garu to address the audience.
Respected management of our institution, Sri Satyanarayana Raj Garu and Sri Prasad Raj Garu, and respected principal Dr. Sabha Prasad Garu, and my dear colleagues of deans, heads of the departments, and faculty. Very good morning to one and all. Now, faculty development program, what we have scheduled, is very much relevant to the present dynamic changes of education system, where the technology is highly applicable. During my days of education, getting a first class was a difficult task, and the performance of the student is being measured by the evaluation system, which is very real during those days. How many first class, how many second class, how many third class, as well as failures also. But nowadays, if you see the present education system, right, with a single click of the information is available to the students. During our days, we were depending upon the textbooks, journals, as well as some other magazines. Whereas the teacher is the sole source of knowledge for the students during our days. But whereas the present generation of the students, the information as well as knowledge is available with a single click. Then, how do we evaluate the students? As well as how do we evaluate the performance of the faculty? So, for which, during our days, we were confined to within the four walls of the classroom for gaining the knowledge. But whereas there are many sources for the students, right? So there is a shift from, since information is already available to the students, there is a shift from what to teach to the students to how to teach the students. How to teach the students. with a technology base. That is the challenge for the present faculty, because information is already available to the students. Engaging them for the 60 minutes of a class itself is a challenge for the present faculty. So that is the reason why the first topic of teaching pedagogy plays one important role for the present education system, which is part of this faculty development program. Next, students are transitioning from learning to the experienced learning. Nowadays, they are not passive learners. Simply, they don't accept what the teachers are telling. They want to know, right? They can judge with the technology what the teacher is telling. Then how do you engage them? Only way of engaging them is the experienced learning. How many of us are successful in giving the experienced learning to the students? That is the biggest challenge, right? So that is the reason why the outcome-based education system was introduced by the government in terms of program outcomes as well as course outcomes, which is part of this faculty development program. Next, the last topic, AI-enabled teaching and research. Right? The present way of teaching in the classrooms, just like uh, a mother cooking a traditional food to the family members. Traditional food means rice, dal, some curry, rasam, curd, something. This is a traditional food. That's what is being served all these days. That's what we are serving to the students within the four walls of the classroom. But nowadays, students wants to move choice-based, flexible education system. I have an interest in this specific area. Whatever engineering branch I select, along with that engineering branch of knowledge, I want to have experience in other areas also. That is what choice-based, flexible education system. Right? Can we serve them like that for the present students? They don't accept the traditional food. They want to have the choice of food. That is where artificial intelligence is going to help the faculty. So artificial intelligence can find out what the students want to know, what is their present intelligence levels, knowledge levels. So artificial intelligence enables the faculty to know what each and every student at present, after the 3 years degree or 4 years degree, whatever it is, what they want to become, it will be analyzed by the artificial intelligence, and the faculty who can enrich their competencies in this artificial intelligence, they only can serve the present students who have the handful of information in their mind. So definitely AI is one tool which is very, very important for the coming phase of education system. That's why this is one area which is included in the present faculty development system. Just to conclude, I want to tell you one point. For our teachers, for our teacher community, it might be a bitter fact, right? So if we don't update ourselves in terms of these different areas, we cannot teach the students. Students will teach us. I will tell you one example. Today morning only, just I have gone through that article. Uh, the girl's name is Pranjali Avasti. At the age of 16 years, 16 years, she has developed a business of 100 crores startup company on AI based. At the age of 16 years. She started doing coding and all at the age of 7 to 8 years. At what age we are teaching coding to our students in all the institutions of engineering? I think probably the second year of engineering, if I am not wrong, or third year of engineering. She started doing at the age of 7 to 8 years. By the age of 16 years, she has developed a AI model of one startup company which is helpful to the researchers. At what age we start doing research? So means a 16 years old student is trying to enabling the researchers at the age of maybe after 35 or 30, whatever it is. So that is the present generation of the students. So then we can think about how we need to update ourselves. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful insights. Now, I welcome Dr. MBBS Sundaran Garu, Dean PAC, and Professor of Mathematics to address the audience.
Respected Principal Professor Garu, respected Dean IKC, Professor Ram Kumar Garu, Professor Venugopal Garu, and fellow deans, Vice Srinivas Garu, So Professor Garu, Sridhar Garu, HODs, and my fellow dedicated academic educators, a very good morning. So we are not gathered here just for a routine academic workshop as actually. So we want to refresh our knowledge, we want to transform the way we teach so that we can cater the needs of the present generation. So as you know, for decades, our education system was simply input-centric. It is only top to bottom flow. The teacher teaches, conducts examinations, that's it. So how we teach, whether the students understood or not, nobody bothers. So the teachers concentrate on what we are going to teach, how many hours we are going to teach, that's it. But the present academic requirements, not only academic, but the industry requirements of the global workforce. They want students who are already skilled during their BTech 4 years only. They don't want to take the students and train. The present industry 4.0 revolution needs the students which are industry ready. So in the 4 years of BTech itself, in the college itself, we have to make them salable for the industry. So 2 days back, we have interaction with Professor Pardasarthi Verma, the Vice Chancellor of KLU. He clearly told that we have to replace our LTPC system to LTPS system. Instead of simply giving credits to the students, we have to assess their skills, we have to make them ready so that they are readily absorbable to the industry. So it is the right term for us to shoot. So the main purpose of this OBE system is it is completely student-centric. So it will cater the needs of the students. So it will shift our thinking from what we teach to what the students can do at the end of their learning journey. మనం ఏం చెప్పామని అవసరం స్టూడెంట్ ఏం చేయగలడు అనేది సిస్టమ్ ఉంటుంది సో కంప్లీట్లీ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉంటుంది సో ఇట్ challenges to meet the present industry requirements. So we have to carefully design our outcomes, our objectives, and we have to clearly and carefully assess the outcomes so that we can make the students critical thinkers, lifelong learners, and problem solvers. So with that purpose only, on behalf of IKSC, with the support and inputs given by our management and the encouragement given by our Professor Subha Prasad Garu, so IKSC has initiated the system. Earlier also we conducted some FDPs. Now it will become a regular practice. So there are so many resource persons in this hall itself. There are so many persons who already proved themselves by getting NBA Type 1 accreditation. So on behalf of IKSC and PAC, we request all those resource persons to come forward and deliver lectures regularly so that all of us can enrich our knowledge. And this is the first and beginning. And I congratulate Dr. Ram Kumar Garu, Venugopal Garu, and of course myself also because I am also part of IKSC. for initiating this, and I thank our management and principal sir for giving us opportunity to start this workshop. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inputs. Now I request our respected principal sir, Dr. S. Sambu Prasad Garu, to address the audience.
So very good morning to everyone. So respected dignitaries on the dais, and my student friends who are here. A very good morning to one and all. So at the outset, I am very happy to be associated with this event. I congratulate IQAC Dean, as the Dean IQAC and the IQAC coordinator and Professor Venugopal Garu to come out with this proposal and making it materialized. And the continuous learning is part of the life. The faculty need to update regularly. Now, once upon a time, as already Professor Venugopal Garu was telling, the systems have changed. Now we cannot be static. We have to be dynamic. At least every day we need to learn something, at least for 12 minutes, when it's scientifically told. Don't try to learn so much stuff in a single day. Consistency is required. So I once again thank IPSC sir for doing this, and I want these activities to be conducted regularly. But in fact, I remember that about 1 year back, or maybe 1.5 years back, every Friday of every month, one R&D session used to be conducted. But there are multiple reasons, because we went for NBA last year. Something coming, something is going into the shelves. So now I request IPSC sir to plan every 15 days one event, at least in online mode, because it's we should be practical. It is impossible to bring everyone during college hours under one umbrella. So learning in a offline mode will be difficult. So I request the resource persons to come voluntarily forward and give one session in your expertise so that all the other faculty can learn. So 15 days, maybe one day you can fix, and maybe evening 7 to 8, and the duration should not be more than 45 minutes to 1 hour. So that way I'm suggesting that. Now I take this opportunity, the college is growing, and probably it will grow as university also in the near future. And as a part of that, the administration, the management is taking keen interest in expanding the wings of the administration. So recently, they have, maybe in the month of April, like that, they have nominated 5 deans to delegate the administration activities. And after that, this is the first meeting where a group of faculty are coming together. So I take this opportunity to congratulate all the new deans, Dean Administration, Dr. Sivaprasad Garu, and Dean Training and Career Development, Dr. Raj Srinivas Garu, Dean Academics, Sridhar Garu, and the Dean PAC, Dr. Surnaran Garu, and the Dean IKC, Dr. Ravi Kumar Garu, Dr. Ram Kumar Garu. And anyhow, we have been R&D since long time. So I take this opportunity to congratulate them. And also I request for your cooperation in the smooth administration of the college and delivering the things, qualitative inputs to the student community and faculty. So that's the request. Now coming to the today's event. Now, who is the prime stakeholder of any educational institution? But according to me, both faculty and students are prime stakeholders. Unless the faculty are comfortable, their mental state is comfortable, no justice can be done to the students. Now let us come to the practical aspects. what are the various activities we are doing for the last 1.5 month or 2 months? Can anybody say what are the major activities what we are involved continuously? Can anyone say? Admission calls. Then second one, stock verification. Then website updation. Then training. Then fees collection. Okay. Next, first year faculty are engaged in Chipku. Anything else? NFSAR, right? Okay. Then social media promotion, right? These are the major activities probably we are doing for the last 1.5 month or something. And again, the 26-27 is beginning. In the meanwhile, I was asking you to do like whether you have completed COPO computation or not, all 25-26 NPA works are completed or not. And after completing them and after getting certified, some of you were permitted to avail a vacation. And during holidays also, some work we might have attended to the college activities through online or something. So what is the solution for this? The solution for this is I am following one Justin Wright. I like him. I like his articles. I just shared this one LinkedIn article to all the HODs groups. I request all the HODs to share it to your faculty. So the title of this topic is 12 Little Habits That Will Change Your Life. So I request that will be shared, like a few things are like exercise session, every day do some exercise. And 2-minute rule. Sometimes what we do is, we try to focus on the tasks which are consuming more time. Rather than if you have an activity before you, some activities, say 6 activities, out of them 2 activities take longer time and 4 activities take smaller time. Then what is your priority? It is observed that we focus on completing the longer time tasks. But if you prioritize to complete the shorter time tasks, your pending tasks will be reduced and you will be comfortable at your mind. So that is the 2-minute rule. Try to focus on the tasks which take less time, and gratitude practice, and 4-7-8 breathing. Breathe in for 4 and hold for 7 and exhale for 8. Use it before big meetings or whenever tension hits you. Right? You try to practice this, right? Maybe you may get anger on your HOD or your principal sometimes. So before meeting them or try to meet them and try to practice this. And meeting breaks, so whoever is conducting, inclusive of me, try to have at least 5 minutes break between one meeting to other meeting. Maybe you may conduct a meeting with 1-to-1 also. So you try to have some break in between. Then 6-second pause. The space between stimulus and response is your power zone. The tiny pause prevents reactive decision. This rule is applicable in official zone as well as in a domestic zone also, in your family, right? Suppose your wife or husband responds or reacts, then you can consider it as a stimulus. And to give your response, if you take 6 seconds time, then things will be more comfortable, right? So whether it's a professional life or personal life, try to take 6-second pause. And water intake is very important. Sleep commitment is very important. And the sleep commitment, one good rule I learned long back when I attended Wipro Mission 10x training program. Whatever activities you want to do tomorrow, if you can spare 5 to 10 minutes in putting them on the paper previous night, you will get a comfortable sleep. Because what happens now, whether if you don't put it on the paper, that work will be a pending work in your subconscious state also, that will be lingering in your mind, which will disturb your sleep. So I think you can try to correlate what I am saying. And movement goal, it may not be possible. 10,000 steps every day people are suggesting. Whatever you walk, you try to do that. And skill building, 11 minutes learning something new, a language, a skill, a concept, compound interest works for knowledge too, right? So this is very important. Every day I see one or two articles of this person, right, to learn the things. And reading practice, so we have forgot reading from the what is called printed matter. So try to do that. So these are small steps that suggested, and definitely that will make you comfortable. You can need not start everything like all 12 tasks at a time, but you like the one which you pick up and try to practice slowly and add one by one over a period of time. So this will definitely keep you comfortable in state, irrespective of the competitive scenario what we are having, because we have our own issues. We are not, we are staying in a global competition, and we need to survive and for our own survival. So the things keep on happening, and take them, try to understand them in a proper perspective, and don't get stressed up. And I wish every faculty and every employer of the institution should be comfortable. And thank you all, and I congratulate IKSC for this wonderful initiative. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. So before I proceed for the vote of thanks, I want to reiterate the FDP schedule once again. So today, 15/6/2026. So the session topic is on the modern teaching pedagogies. So which was going to be delivered by the Dr. S. Sridhar Garu, Professor of ECE and in charge Dean Academics, followed by the session Dr. R. Vedgopal Garu, Professor of FDP. So the session timings for all the 6 days carries from the 9:30 to 12:30 p.m. During 11 to 11:15, we have the 15 minutes PA discuss break. So after that, the session will be continued. So the second day, 16/6/2026. So the topic is on the fundamentals of the outcome-based education, which is going to be delivered by the Dr. MBBS Sunyarayan Garu, Professor of Mathematics and in charge Dean Bank. And on Wednesday, that is on 17/6/2026, the topic is on the revised Bloom's taxonomy and designing the course outcomes. So, which is going to be delivered by the Dr. KSDL Kalyan Prasad Garu, Associate Professor of Physics, and he is going to be delivered these particular topics, which is one of the important topic for the OP. And on the 18/6/2026, the topics are on program outcomes, COPO, mapping matrix, and outcome-based assessment and quality question paper design. So these are the topics are going to be delivered by the Dr. S. Sridhar Garu, followed by the Dr. C.H. Krishnamurthy, Mr. C.H. Krishnamurthy Garu, Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering. He is well trained in this particular aspect, that is especially for the COPO mapping matrix. Followed by Dr. G. Vijay Kumar Garu, Professor of Mechanical and Controller of Examination. He is going to be delivered on the topic of the outcome-based assessment and quality question paper design. And on the Friday, that is on 19/6/2026, that is AI in teaching learning, which is going to be delivered by me. So I'm going to be explore through what are the different kinds of the tools which are helpful for teaching learning process and assessment. These things we are going to be delivered, especially mostly it will be based on the hands-on session. And followed by on the last day, that is 26/2026, the topic is on research methodology and strategies for the peer-reviewed paper publication, which is going to be delivered by the Dr. D. Sirisha Madam, Professor of CSC AML and Dean R&D. So everyone in today's world, definitely the research outcome is essential. So this is not only for the institution goal, this is especially for the personal goal. So definitely each and everyone, whether you are a PhD or PhD or not PhD, but definitely you require a paper nowadays. So because this particular paper is especially essential for not only for yourself, for the institutional growth also. If you want to be go for any kind of rankings like NIRF or any other rankings, so definitely the outcome of the research is very essential. So definitely you should start writing up the papers, collaborate with your peers, not only in this college, outside of this college. So try to get at least 1 or 2 papers per year. So these are the essential things, and on these lines already Principal Sir and Dean R&D has already given the circular in this regard to publish the mandatory publication in these aspects. So these are the schedules for this particular week. Now moving on to the vote of thanks. So it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion for the inaugural session of the faculty development program on the, teaching pedagogies, outcome-based education, and AI-enabled teaching and learning. So at the outset, I express my sincere gratitude to our respected principal, Sir Dr. S. Sambuprasad Gar, for gracing this occasion for his inspirational presidential address. So his continuous encouragement and support towards the faculty development and quality enhancement initiative serves as the source of motivation for all of us. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. NVVS Sunarayan Garu, Dean in charge Bank, for his valuable insights and guidance and unwavering support strengthening academic quality and outcome-based education practices within the institution. I sincerely thank Dr. R. Venugopal Garu, Professor of MBA, for his motivational address, for his valuable contribution in initiating and supporting of this faculty development program. I also express my gratitude to all the resource persons who have graciously agreed to share their expertise during the FDP and contribute to the professional development of our faculty members. My sincere thanks to all the deans, head of the departments for their cooperation and support in facilitating the participation of faculty members in this program. I would like to also thank to all the participants for their enthusiastic presence and commitment to continuous learning and professional growth. Finally, I place on record of my appreciation to my IGSC team. Special thanks to the STPL Varaprasad who helped me a lot for this organizing this particular event, and also those who directly and indirectly contributed to the successful organization of this inaugural session. So once again, I thank everyone for their presence and support. I wish all the participants to fruitful and enrichment learning during this FDP. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
22nd నుంచి 27th ఆ వీక్ లో కూడా ఫ్యాకల్టీ ట్రైనింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఉందండి. ఒక 3 గ్రూప్స్ కింద చేశాము టోటల్ ఫ్యాకల్టీని. అది ఒక గ్రూప్ ఏకేమో మండే ట్యూస్డే ఉంటుంది, గ్రూప్ బికేమో వెన్స్డే థర్స్డే ఉంటుంది, గ్రూప్ సికేమో ఫ్రైడే అండ్ సాటర్డే ఉంటుంది. Inclusive of teaching assistants, they have to join this. Of course, the classwork will be there, final year classwork. I request the HODs to keep the nominal staff for managing the classwork, and they can join the other groups also to attend the training. But it is a mandatory, and everyone, it's a paid one. The management is spending a lot of money to improve the what you call the quality of the faculty in understanding the HR concepts, and this proposal is submitted by Professor Venugopal Garu to the management, and it is approved by the Honorable Chairman and Secretary Garu. And I take this opportunity to thank our President Sir, Sri Satyanarayana Garu, and Secretary Dr. Prasad Raj Garu for taking wonderful initiatives and arranging these kind of programs for the growth of the faculty members. So thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sridhar, Professor in AC Department and in charge in academics. Before I begin my session, I just want to clarify a few things. This is not anything new. This is again the same old coffee. But the very sole intention of this FDP is it's a kind of refresher program for all of us. So whatever sessions we are going to have over the period of 6 days, all will be kind of refreshing courses. So my request is, don't feel bored. I'll be handing over my session for around 50 minutes to 1 hour. Not more than that. Whatever you feel like is new, you take them. Remain dull. Just refresh. Okay? So to begin, since we're all teachers, means we're the trainers. The very purpose of us is trainers or teachers is to train the students. So the best we do to train the students. There's an English proverb. If you got to train some people, you have to train the trainers. So we must be trained first. So keeping that in mind, this ITS FDP is arranged by our institution. So let us all try to make the best use of it and carry the same forward in the forthcoming class works which are going to happen from the end of this month. So with that introductory part, I move on to my presentation. Modern teaching pedagogies. What are these teaching pedagogies actually? These pedagogies are a comprehensive guide for all engineering faculty and higher education institutions. And that really transform how we teach, how we engage, and how we prepare the next generation of engineers. What is the real outcome of these modern teaching pedagogies? A shift towards student-centered learning. Because in the past decades, learning is predominantly based upon a teacher delivering the lecture, student taking down the notes. That's it, including some rote methods of learning. But now the scenario has changed. The entire teaching or learning is totally focused upon student-centered learning only. Now, before I dive inside all my slides, whatever content I have taken, some of the content I have generated using an AI tools. Some are taken from the internet. Okay? There is nothing sole proprietary on my own. Okay? What is going to be the outcome of this session? At the end of the session, participants will identify the different pedagogical frameworks and analyze the shift from teacher-centered to student learning and the essence of the same. Further, they apply the engagement psychology to the modern classroom design to ensure maximum benefits to the students. A just brief glimpse of how the education era evolved. Traditionally in the 90s, teacher used to use the chalk and talk pedagogy, rote memorization, batch mode delivery. A teacher will be delivering, batch of students will be listening. Standardized testing, Same method of testing, pen and paper exam. Most of the students used to remain passive. So the learners are passive. But the scenario changed from 1990 to 2015. In the 97, LMS emerged, Learners Management System. 2002 models came. 2008, open online courses. 2012, Coursera came into existence, promoting MOOCs, learning through MOOCs. 2015, it's again a blended kind of approach, both. But now, since 2016 and in the current 2026, the era of learning is mostly AI based. 2016, adaptive learning systems came. In 18, GPT-1, AI engines came into existence. GPT-1 introduced transformer LM. 20 GPT-3, now GPT-4, 4O and 5O all. So we are in this era. Now the idea behind this workshop is, in the future or forthcoming days, we got to adopt this last block of teaching in order to survive the field or else to ensure maximum benefits to the students. And that will really promote the student-centric learning approach. Why modern pedagogies? Why do we require that? As you all know, engineering education is evolving rapidly. Traditional or conventional ways of teaching or learning are no longer meeting the demands of the current technology-driven world. Modern pedagogy shifted the focus from passive reception to active, meaningful learning. In other words, we can say earlier, learning used to be a kind of supervised learning. Learning used to happen with teachers. Now it is totally migrated towards unsupervised learning. Students can learn at their home, outside the classroom, anywhere they can learn, if at all they have an intention to learn. No need of teacher. But I don't really mean to degrade this. The scenario has become like. So the need for teachers to adopt this methodology of teaching is a dire requirement. So modern pedagogies are outcome based. Hence, every lesson we teach has a measurable learning outcomes. It is student centered because learners or the students take the ownership of their progress through engagement and reflection. Totally practical based, tech enabled. Differences. In teacher-centered learning, lecture used to be the sole authority. You can call it as unidirectional transmission. Lecture used to transmit, students used to listen. 90% student used to be passive, 10% used to be active. But now the scenario is, students are the co-constructors of knowledge. They are sharing knowledge with us, even though we cannot reach out sometimes in the class. They learn them on their own. So the student has got multiple resources to learn, provided they maintain the intention to learn. Content focus. Earlier, teacher used to focus only on the curriculum and coverage of syllabus. Now, competence mastery. The curriculum coverage and the sole focus of syllabus completion is totally waived off. Though we are bound to complete the syllabus, students can themselves become competent enough or master any contents. Because sometimes they come to the class with a pre-learned approach. because of which they gain deep understanding of the concepts. And assessment used to be through summative examinations earlier. Now it is continuous formatting. We are given other authentic tasks, some many projects, quiz, everything online exams, sometimes blended mode, hybrid mode of evaluations. Assessment is varied. Earlier feedback used to be delayed. The feedback used to be taken at the end of the semester, before the real grading or commencement. Now it is, feedback can be taken instant, specific, and AI-based feedbacks. None role, as I mentioned earlier, used to be passive recipient. Now active. Technology is earlier PPT and projector based. Now it is collaborative. The outcome is earlier knowledge recall. Because the assessment used to be summative, students used to recall. They simply used to study, recall, write the exam, that's it. But now it is totally different. What is this OBE? OBE designed the curriculum. We are all aware of OBE, I guess, except some new faculty. OBE designed the curriculum backward. It approaches a bottom to top approach. From the desired outcomes, every course assessment and activities are in. To say that initially, the program outcomes are defined. We have 12 program outcomes, but in the new MBA, they are reduced to 10, I think. These are nothing but the graduate outcomes which we teachers shall promise to ensure the student after completing their BTech program at our institution. So what we do initially, the outcomes are defined, and based on the outcome, we frame the courses, we frame the modules in each course, keeping the outcomes in mind. It is a backward approach. Accordingly, we frame the assessment methodologies, feedback mechanisms. This again form a closed loop. Student-centered active learning. What are the different learning methodologies? Active learning really engages to students through discussions, problem solving, reflection. They are proven to improve the retention, or in other words, keep the student active continuously, provided we adopt such a methodology of teaching. Think, pair, share, where students reflect individually. They discuss with their peers or partners, share their ideas, and they check that in the lectures. Peer instruction, where students teach each other using clickers. I guess most of you might be aware of it. Clickers are coding tools, reinforcing understanding through explanation. If you observe the premier institutions in India, IITs, NITs, IITs, there the students mostly they follow the peer learning approach on peer instruction. Case studies. We give some real engineering failure or task to the students and ask them to analyze, do some data analytics to which the theory and practice and come up with the solution. Minded purpose. Quick written reflection rather than to write quickly. At the end of the class, reveal the misconceptions and guide future research. Then we have one more flipped classroom model. In flipped classroom model, before the student comes into the class, student will do some exercise, pre-learning portion. They might watch some videos, read some material, go through the internet, browse some content, have some good listenings, to say that they come to the class with an idea of the topic which you are going to present in the class. In the class, what really happens is, If at all the students come with a pre-learning approach, we can have an active problem solving and group discussion in the class, rather than explaining the same again. At the end of the class, the student will have a satisfactory learning, a deeper practice of whatever they learned the previous day, more problem solving, and we can even assess the same. We have project-based and problem-based learning. If we take the project-based learning, it is typically a long-term based kind of learning, involving teamwork and communication, which is nothing but the 5-year projects, where the students will be taking up a problem before they really go inside the problem. They're supposed to do some kind of literature survey, formulate the problem, identify the different methodologies of the same, solving them, design the circuit, test it, to say that the entire project work happens. In contrast, we have problem-based learning, which is a short term, where the students are given some problems. They straight away inquire into the problems and formulate the best solution out of the existing ones. Both approaches, problem-based and project-based, are meeting the student outcomes. They design, do some teamwork and lifelong learning. But the difference is, problem-based learning, students used to be more proactive and ensure good learning in a short span of time. This is more of similar to the previous slide. Experiential and inquiry-based learning. Both are almost same. I just want to show the picture. Collaborative learning and blended or hybrid models. Collaborative means, as you all know, the students group themselves, they do some group work, or in other words, teamwork. What are the advantages? Build the communication skills, accountability of students will be increased, team dynamics, how to behave in teams once they get employed. All these competencies will be learned by the student. We have some examples. Jigsaw technique, I guess most of you might be aware of this. For distributed expertise, team-based learning with readiness tests, instant tests, peer review, because peer learning ensures peer review. Students themselves evaluate themselves, correct themselves, do some learning, enhance their confidence levels, and collaborate to design tasks or projects. Hybrid learning combines in-person interaction with online components that includes both online and offline mode. We have LMS platforms for content delivery and quizzes, virtual labs, triple plus online, in-person integration. Now I just want to tell one more thing. Since the topic of my session is modern teaching pedagogies, whatever teaching pedagogies I mentioned so far, most of them are being followed for the past a number of years. There is nothing new or modernization in that. So to make my presentation apt, I need to cover AI perspectives of teaching and learning. But since we have got a dedicated session in this FDP, a dedicated session on AI-based teaching and learning, I guess it is on 18th by Ramkumar sir himself. So my presentation will be up to only if I cover some AI aspects. But since we are having a dedicated session, I'll just give an overview of AI-based learning. What are all some different tasks which you are going to do, only an overview or outline. Because in depth you are going to learn the same, or being by or being accuracy. Right? So if I do not touch this AI perspective of teaching and learning, my session would not be meaningless. Because the title itself is modern. Right? AI is still teaching and learning. AI is reshaping the career, already reshaped. From personalized learning paths to intelligent and tutoring systems. What is in store with AI for the students? We have adaptive learning platforms. AI tailors the content, difficulty and pacing to individual student performance in real time. We can assess every student individually. We have intelligent tutoring systems 24/7. Though a student is here outside anywhere, if at all he is determined to learn something, he can do it. Learning analysis. How do we deal the assessment of learning by the students? We have got AI-based dashboards to identify the poor students, performance of the merit students, do some assessment methodologies, and conclude the evaluations. Some few examples. Next 7 to 8 slides will show what is really in store for our teachers to make the best use of AI. An example. Suppose I want to create a 20-slide lecture with animations and diagrams. Best AI tools. You can use Gamma AI, ChatGPT, Canva AI. There's something called free, means free plus premium. Not fully free. The word means that. If you need advanced or more professional content, we need to do some payment. One more example, I want the lecture notes with AI, which includes mathematical derivations, solve intuitions, and solved examples. Tools are chargeable again. Perplexity is free, with some restrictions. Claude is also there. Notion AI. We can even ask for a short single page notes. Same tools, ChatGPT, Quillbot, Summarize Bot, Notion AI. I want to complete 3-hour NSEM exam for soft computing. Any subject you take. In accordance with the RBT and NBA norms. What are the tools? Question well. It is free. Prep AI is there. Merlin AI is there. ChatGPT is always free. With some restrictions. Question paper. We can generate a question paper with the RBT norms. What is the time we are saving? Around 3 hours to 30 minutes. Going to the entire syllabus, preparing the question paper. But remember one thing, we have to remember one thing. As far as these teaching tasks by AI is concerned, AI tool does not have any ethics. We need to take into consideration the ethics. Ultimate decision should lie in our hands. We should not rely fully on the AI tools. Whatever we derive out of the AI tools, keep on customizing it on your own, transform it to meet your requirements. Then we can finalize the same. Faculty must moderate the difficulty or duplication. There might be some ambiguous definitions, ambiguous generation of content. That and all the faculty should resolve before finally using the content generated by AI. That is the most important caution. You can even generate quiz. Quizai, Kahoot, these are only very few tools. There are today we are having thousands of AI tools available for all the purposes. For the same quiz paper, time saved is within 10 to 8 minutes we can generate the quiz. Manually it should have taken around 45 minutes to 1 hour, depends. Again, ethical consideration needs to be taken care of. Because we need to include some examples. Sometimes AI does not include. Assignment questions and rubrics. We can generate them. 2 hours task is reduced to 20 minutes. Mini project idea generations. You can take 10 to 20 minute project ideas. Give them to the students using those tools. ChatGPT, idea buddy, project genius AI. Time is slashed into 15 minutes. This is useful for people doing research. Covering these 2 or 3 slides, we are having one more session at the end by our dean R&D madam. How to make the best use of AI tools for research work, PhD work. So this slide and next slide talks about, gives an overview, that's it. So you can quickly find the research gaps and anticipate the structured literature review. A literature review outline for a paper or any paper. You can straight away upload your paper, ask for an overview of it. Or it will source all of the papers mentioned in the references of the manuscript. Do some literature review and give it to you. So one chapter of your PhD thesis work will be ready. Literature review part. But remember, we have to maintain the ethics. Tools does not have. Elicit is one best tool. You can source any paper to it and extract the literature review. It will try to connect all the papers inside that. You can make the best use of it. IDP research paper writing. If you want to draft the abstract, introduction, conclusion, anything you can do. For example, various algorithms. ChatGPT, Wildlife, typeset.io, Grammarly. Of course, most of the tools have their own approaches. All are not unique. We can even use AI tools for OD documentation and COPO mapping. Based on these topics also, we are going to have some more sessions. in the forthcoming days of the FDP. This will be done within 20 minutes. At the end, just try to understand it once. Whatever we have discussed earlier, problem-based learning, inquiry-based learning, case-based learning. In problem-based learning, we have taken an individual problem, which is unstructured. No clear-cut definition, no solution. We ask the students to dig inside that, come up with solutions, do some analytics, formulate the final solution, go for the design of circuitry, test it, verify it. Inquiry-based, question-driven explanation. It is purely Socratic in nature. Students formulate the hypothesis, gather evidences, and then they make the best use of AI. Case-based. We can give any case studies from industries, researchers. These are some reference papers mentioned about them. Major risks of AI in academic workflows, which I have already discussed, just go through them once. AI may generate some facts which are plausible, but might be incorrect. Fake citations, wrong formulas. So that is where the caution is, whatever we generate from AI tools, we need to ensure the validity of them, that we ourselves got to do, instead of relying them. LLMs may even embed cultural, gender and regional biases. At any point of time, that should not be there anywhere. So a thorough check is required there. AI text may reproduce the training data. Plagiarism will be there. Excessive AI reliance erodes critical thinking. This is one main important aspect. Once AI came, people start thinking. So we are giving total rest to our mind. If you remember, before the eruption of mobile phone, each of us used to remember at least 15 to 20 mobile numbers. Now I guess hardly can remember 3 to 4 mobile numbers. Now today AI has come, everything on AI. You simply open the chat GPT for drafting a single letter, anything. So this makes your mind dull, inactive. So the caution is, AI tools are making us inactive or passive. So let us safeguard ourselves to make the best use of the tools, balancing our intellectuality on the other side. Because that is where the competence of students comes into existence. If we encourage the students to make the fullest use of AI, they really forget to make the best use of their brain. So they might be scoring the numbers, CGPS. But when it comes to competitive exams, GATE and etc., civil services, engineering services, they cannot compete. So as a teacher from our side, we need to encourage the students to make the use of AI in a balanced mode. Risk mitigation principle. AI output is a first draft. Faculty expertise is the final authority. Whatever draft generated by AI is not the final draft. We need to poke inside it, verify it, check the validity, finalize it, customize it, then finalize it. So we have to rest that final authoritating power with us. So human in the loop between AI is non-negotiable for all academic deliverables. Conclusion and recommendations. Modern pedagogies are not a trend, but they are a necessity. But depends on how best we make the use of them and our ability to judge to what level we curtail the use of AI tools rather than making the fullest use of them. Adopt OE framework. Right now we can align all the courses to measure the POs and MBA or ABET standards. Train the faculty continuously. Invest in professional development workshops. We can redesign the curriculum. We can leverage the technology. We can deploy LMS, AI tools, models, virtual labs to enhance the accessibility and engagement. We can even evaluate, measure, and iterate. We use some data analytics or language analytics and student feedback, keep them in a loop to continuously improve the pedagogy. So the final key takeaway of this session is the most effective engineering programs combine multiple pedagogies, hybrid or blended modes. But the ultimate aim is a student-centered, building up a student-centered ecosystem. That is what we have to do from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your brief introduction regarding to the modern teaching pedagogies and also, of course, has introduced a lot of AI tools regarding how best we can make use of it. Anyway, we can briefly get into these tools in the upcoming session, especially in my session on the 19th. So I'm going to be talking about mostly related to the prompt engineering aspects and followed by the section where we're going to be delivered on the research aspects. So a quick 10 minutes break we have the EN discuss having our side, and after that Dr. Venugopal Garu is going to be delivered on the concepts of the national education policy and education. So you can go ahead. After 10 minutes immediately please answer those questions.